Our channel is called Pink Butterfly, and this is our first video.
Our first YouTube video ever. And what are we doing in our first YouTube video? What are we going to show people? What is this?
Hydrophobic sand.
This is the Science Magic Kit.
Waterproof wonders.
That's right. And it comes with aerogel and hydrophobic sand. And real quick, before we get into the stuff, why don't you come here and read this to our viewers so they can know what hydrophobic materials are. Nature.
Nature controls lots of hydrophobic or water-bearing
materials.
I can't really read that.
The leaves and flowers of many plants, such as the lotus flower and lady's mantle, are hydrophobic, causing rain to gather in droplets on the surface and keep the plants from getting waterlogged. Waterfowl coat their feathers with a hydrophobic oil to make the water slide off their backs. There is a desert-dwelling beetle that uses both water-loving and water-hating surfaces survive in its hot, dry environment. It has hydrophilic bumps on its back to attract moisture from fog in the air, and then uses hydrophobic troughs to channel that moisture into its mouth.
Channel? Our channel is Pink Butterfly, and our art stuff is
an example of the leaf, and as you can see, the water just beads up and rolls off the leaves instead of absorbing into the leaf. Pretty neat, huh? So the first experiment that we want to try is with aerogel. Okay, now let's talk about what aerogel is really quick.
Papa, don't really bend it so much. So bend the book.
The science behind aerogel. Known as the world's lightest solid material, aerogel can weigh as little as 3 times the weight of the air you breathe. It's strong enough to hold 4,000 times its own weight, but brittle enough to snap with your bare hands. As you learned in the experiment, aerogel is extremely hydrophobic. Scientists make it by removing all the water from a gel, leaving only the molecular structure of the original material and creating a solid substance that is 99% air, with the lowest density of any solid on Earth. Aerogels are often called frozen smoke, blue smoke, or frozen air.
Pug, you forgot there.
That's fine. What we have here is some powdered aerogel, and I don't know if we're going to be able to mix this up to actually make a piece of aerogel, but we're going to try. But let's just do what the experiment says to do right here. So, we got our aerogel here.
That looks like snow.
And
like super fuzzy snow. That we used out of a water bottle. A McDonald's water bottle. Like that. Kind of got in the book, but it's okay. Water.
And now, let's see what this says to do. This says, pour some water into the cup, deep enough to get your fingers wet. Carefully open the aerogel, which we did. Put your finger into the jar and move it around so your entire fingertip is coated with aerogel. Okay, so stick your finger in there, swirl it around, and let me see your finger. And now dip your finger in the water. When you pull it out, it will be dry. Is your finger dry?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Alright, I gotta try this too, so let's see. This just really feels like...
And look, if you put your finger in, it looks like metal.
This just kind of feels like light sand, so let's see.
Watch it be metal.
And sure enough, my finger is completely dry. Completely dry.
It's dry.
And it feels like it's wet. It feels like the water's all around it. I can feel the water. When I pull it out,
it's all dry.
I don't know if you can see very well, but there is no water on my finger.
I want to do it again.
Try it again.
Look, my finger's metal. It's dry.
Oh my gosh.
It's so cool.
Alright, so what I want to do now is I want to see if we can mix some of this aerogel up into some water. So I'm going to pour a little bit of the aerogel into this cup here.
Stop. That's enough.
Put the lid back on.
Because we're not going to use that for...
I don't want to waste that.
Yeah.
And then
And spill water.
use this spoon here.
I think I...
Okay, so spoon a little bit of water into there. Right. There you go. Just a little tiny bit. That's enough right there. I'll drop it right on top of that plant.
Wow.
Now, let's see. Now look. Now, see if let's get up here so you guys can see that. I don't know if you can see that very well, but as you can see, that water just beads up on top of the aerogel. And it does not mix up into the powder very well. Let's see if we can get it mixed up in there. It's taking a while to absorb that water.
It will not absorb that water.
It's starting to absorb it, and what I'm hoping will happen is we can get this to mix all together, and we can actually have a little tiny piece of aerogel that we can play with. Get it to mix together.
We will do this every Thursday and Friday.
We'll try to make videos every Thursday and Friday. There's no guarantee that it will.
Okay, never mind.
No, that's not working very well.
Yeah.
On to the next experiment. Now, we could play with hydrophobic sand. Now this is going to be pretty cool stuff. So, here's sand. Basically all this is just waterproof sand that you can play with in water. A nice glass of water here.
And it'll be dry when you take it out. It's going to be super cool. But I got to pull up my sleeves. Pull up your sleeves.
My sleeves are pulled up. I'm going to take a spoonful of this. I'm just going to...
That big? Whoa! It's not going to be wet when we take it out. Whoa!
Oh, look at that. That looks so cool.
It looks like a whole glass is holding it. Whoa!
As
So
you can
cool.
see, look at that. That looks awesome. And you can't, no matter what you do, you can't mix it together. It just rejects the water. Alright?
But when we take it out,
when it's underwater, it's all clumped together. And when you pull it up to the top, look at that.
it's all dry.
It's all dry and it just pours right back into the water.
Whoa! Can I try?
Yes, you can. Here.
I want
There
to
you go.
feel it.
Why don't you go ahead and play around with this. And I'll go over here and see if I can mix this aerogel with some water.
This is the best gift. Papa, look, there's a bubble. A water bubble.
Oh, cool.
This is cool. This is actually my channel, by the way. Ooh. I want to touch it. Papa, did you know guava juice had this too?
Yeah.
Guava juice. He had
Yeah.
different colored slot, like different colored
colored
sand.
hydrophobic sand. That's cool.
And he put it in there, and then when he took it out with his hand and stuff, it was all dry.
Awesome.
I want to put more of this in there.
Go ahead.
Wipe the spoon off. It's all dry. It's kind of hard to do it. This is pretty hard to do. Yeah. Crap. It's a tiny mess, but it's not so big. think that's enough. Okay. Put it in there. Papa, it looks like an upside down witch's hat. Look. Upside down witch's hat. Upside down witch's hat. All dry. Papa, the water moves. That's so weird. Yeah. Now, let's mix this up. It's all super. This is cool. We had so much fun doing this stuff, but